Yes, hello friends. Now today we are going to look at the concept of how Servlet is uh, going to handle the data supplied through web user interface. By that I mean if you have a web form, how you can connect that web form to a servlet so that whatever the data that user is going to submit to a servlet is working on that particular data. Now, basic intention of this particular example is to understand how doGet and doPost works. Later on in the subsequent videos, I will show you like how the same waveform will helpful for us in storing the data into a MySQL database. So MySQL database with particular table. So means we'll try to understand the insert query there. Okay, now let's come to the example point. So this is what is our example. Let's look at, so you can easily see this waveform, and you can remind the same mechanism that you have learned into JSP. For understanding this, you please go back to my previous videos where I have created the web user interface and link this web user interface with the backend JSP. Now look at this. This is how we are going to work with. So this is our menu now, the same menu we are going to use here, and the link for the web form is web UI for servlet. So by clicking on this web UI for servlet, what we are going to get is this. Now, as we understand that here, this my web user interface is providing me three attributes: roll number, student name, and student age. Subsequently, this same waveform we will be using for the database manipulation. Okay, now here for this particular example, the objective for us is to understand how doGet and doPost method is going to work, and how can I understand whether I'm working with whether this process request is being served by doGet or the process request is being served by doPost. And we know that this web form uh, is here. If you look at here, you'll find that the name of web form is my web form. So we'll just look at the my web form JSP. So this is what is my web form JSP. So I'm going to just open this my web form JSP for you. Okay, so this is what is my web form JSP. Now the interesting thing that look at the action. Now the action is web UI insert. This already you are aware of. We have already learned about this. So the action is, in case of JSP, the action is action we used to write dot slash JSP file name dot JSP. Now in case of servlet, we are going to write action with the servlet name. So the servlet that is going to come into picture is web UI underscore insert. So I have created this example for working with insert also, but here for this time we need to understand doGet and doPost method. So this is what is the method of the form. The method of the form is get. Now please try to understand that when a method of the form is get, our doGet method is being invoked, and when method of the form is post, doPost method gets invoked, and only that we need to verify. Okay, so now our form method is doGet, form method is get, and the underlying servlet is web UI insert. Rest, if you look at here, there are three input controls. So input, roll number, name, and sh. So they are being identified as s roll, s name, uh, s name, and sh. So this is going to happen, and there is a button called submit. So this is called a save record. So let's go back to this now. This is what is our web UI insert servlet is going to be. Let's explore this now. Got it. Now this is what is web UI. Now again, the important points here: same IO exception, print writer. Then this is the case which we are in need of: servlet request response. Okay, now here as a part, in my first video on servlet, you'll find that I have discussed life cycle of servlet where there is an initialization. So here I have defined some variable for my servlet. My servlet name is web UI insert. It is extending HTTP servlet, so it becomes HTTP servlet. Here is string status and all. So this we are going to learn like how we can integrate our own class into a servlet. That you will find out in my next video. So but here for the sake of this time, you need to understand like how process request is going to work. So this is the process request, and there are certain codes to it. So we have to, for this sake of time, for this video only, we need to understand only line numbers 47. Rest of the code we need not to discuss, we'll discuss it some other time. But for this, just try to understand, look at the line number 47 only. We'll try to understand what exactly the status means. Now here I have defined a status variable for two reasons, because I need to understand where my service request, which is going to be get executed continuously, is through doGet, or is through invoke through doGet, or is through invoke through doPost. Okay, and we know that this is being handled here, the HTTP servlet methods. So let's try to extend this and we'll find it out, uh, the code for that. Now let's look at doGet and doPost. Now see here, if you, as I said, if the method of the form is get, so do get activated, and here what I just have made is, see, look at here, what I have just have made is that the same status variable which is of string type is being assigned that. Okay, now if the method of the form is get, so it once the doGet is being invoked, it will change the status of the variable as updated by doGet. If it is post, then it is going to be modified as updated by doPost. Look at here, this is updated by doGet. Now the same is being updated here. Now look at this code, doGet and doPost. So look at the status. If the form method is get, do updated by doGet. If form method is post, updated by doPost. Now here the same request and response variable, request and response variable. Now this doGet and do the post method invokes or make a call to a process request, which is nothing but our service section of the servlet. So service section of the servlet is here. Now look at here the service section. Now this is going to be my service section. Now here, look at here, this status, this status variable is being updated by doGet and doPost, right, based on the method of the form. Okay, so look at here. Now how I'm going to read this? Okay, now when the data is being submitted to a container, servlet gets loaded, initialized, and after initialization, instantiation, it gets initialized, and the time of initialization it defines whether doGet is going to invoke or doPost is going to, and the status is being modified here. Now here this line number 47 is just printing out that status here. Now if you look at line number 48 to line number 49, they are reading the data of the of our web UIs like controls which we have used, and we have identified, we named it as srole, sname, and sh. They are being read here now, and this line number 51 will be providing the output in a tabular form, and which we have already aware of, like how it is being prepared in a couple of our previous example, which tells you that. Now let us try to go on execution of this. So this is, say for example, roll number 3001, student name is say Praveen Yannavar, and student age is say 41. Now the time I click on, look at the time I click on save record, please try to see that what is going to happen, that web UI insert is going to come into action now. So look at here, now the method of this particular form is get. Now the time you click on get, what is going to happen? See here, the status is being modified, and what is being said here, updated by doGet. Now this is important, and at the same time you will find that the variable are disclosed onto URL. Please refer back to my first video on Servlet where I have already shared you about what are the benefits of doGet and what are the benefits of doPost. So in doGet it is said that variables are disclosed onto URL, and here you are getting the variables disclosed on URL. And please see that sRole, sname and sage, all three variables are being separated by and. So and separates the variable here, so you need to understand. So this is being updated by doGet. Now let us try to change, just go back to this. Let us try to change now the type of the form. My web form is instead of get here, instead of get, let us try to see if what if it is post. Now I'm going to save it as post. Now let's come back here, refresh this. Okay, I'm refreshing this. Okay, web UI. So now this web UI servlet is now being changed. Now what has happened here? Now method of the web UI form changed to post. The benefit of this is that what is going to happen here? The benefit is, okay, the URL will not contain anything except the name of the servlet. That's it. So our variables are not being disclosed here. Now let us try to see whether we are going to have it on URL or not. If it is not, then the method is definitely be a post. Praveen and Nava, the same variable, and the age is say 41. Look at here. So this is what is my data. Now I'm going to save this data. Now the status is being changed. Look at here. Now the status is being changed here. It is updated by doPost. Now let us quickly look at the URL, whether we are getting the data. No, we are not getting data. That's it. That is the benefit. Our data is not being disclosed onto a URL. So it is being directly handled by underlying server. So it is always good whenever you are dealing with the sensitive data like username, password. The form method should be post, as well as whenever you are performing financial transaction, your form method always be a post method. Later we can include like all encryption and that mechanism. It's not a problem. But at the same time, this video will tell you about an information about how do get works, how do post works. In my next video I am going to tell you about how to save the entries that you have received through a web form into the backend table of MySQL. But before going back in SQL, so in case if you have any questions, queries, please do write to me. I will be very happy to answer your questions and doubts. Thank you very much.